Hello all! How's it going, everybody? Holy shit, we have got quite a few people here in chat tonight. Hello, everybody. I am your lazy, orange, yarn spinning, music loving cat boy, Rezi Orangi, and welcome yet again to another Music Talk stream. As I've been saying for a while now, I should probably find a more creative name for this series, but that's a problem for the new year. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing this week? It's been I don't know, it's been kind of a quiet week on my end, but the holiday season's ramping up. I'm seeing a lot more holiday cheers spreading around. I literally had a work party this Friday, got good and properly wasted at well, not wasted, I don't know, I was functional enough to do a bit of work there, and in between the little bits of partying I did. But I don't know, it's a fun time. It's a very festive time of year, and I'm having a good time. I actually just dropped I'm still doing a bit of work for the channel, on the glam deep dive, on the part 2 of that. Actually, I've been scripting that and everything. You can I actually, sorry, I recently posted about it on my Patreon. If you're subscribed to it, you probably saw that pop up. If not, it's only $2 a month, and everything supports the channel. So if you want to support me financially and you're curious to hear a bit more in depth of what I've been doing recently, in all the work in progress stuff for my late upcoming deep dives, that's where you go. ReziOrangi, patreon.com/ReziOrangi. That's the site. But anyways, today, yet again, we have another guest for the Music Talk stream from the annals of Blue Sky. The hot new platform now that everybody's sick of Elon's bullshit. And this dude, he seems pretty chill, I think I actually came across him. I stumbled across him on Blue Sky some time ago. He was trying to put together some sort of, it was like one of those support packs or something for music VTubers, or he was trying to look for one of those. And I thought I stumbled across him then, and I was like, he seems pretty chill. And I don't know if I added him to my own, because I think I had my own starter pack at the time, but I had my eye on him, and then like at some point, I guess I must have followed him, and then he followed me back, and one thing led to another, and he's a guest on my channel. But everybody, yeah, today's guest is a punk-themed VTuber. He plays the bass. He's British, and he seems like a super chill guy. Would you all please put your hands together for Punk Brock?
Hello, that's me. I'm Punk Rock, everyone's favorite punk rock guinea pig VTuber. Hopefully the only one. I don't know. If someone else is the same qualities, then don't take it personally.
Hey man, nothing's new under the sun. So yeah, thank you. Welcome to the stream. I understand it's quite late where you are. Usually, usually when I have British people on, I'm all too happy to accommodate them for your time. But you were fine with coming on at the usual 7 p.m. time. So thank you for that.
It's pitch black. It's pitch black. It's probably pitch black where you are too, though, to be fair.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's the winter solstice, winter season about, so everything is dark as hell, at least in this hemisphere.
Did you get any snow? Why was there a week ago? I can tell you didn't get any snow.
Nah. Well, there was a point, like, I remember it was snowing at some point, like on my morning commute a few weeks ago. I don't know if it was like a few weeks ago or like this past week, but it is wintry weather nowadays. It's at least the temperature's at least dipping down into the 30s again, which I was kind of worried for a while there. It was kind of warm in November,
Yeah, we got there. Just moved to England. It's cold all the time.
Oh my gosh. So, usually something that I like to ask my guests, starting off these streams, I'd like to open the floor to them, just sort of talk a little bit about like where they came from, like sort of what sparked their passion for music. Because it's one thing to sort of love music casually, listen to it, with your friends, by yourself, or whatever. But it's another thing entirely to theme yourself around it as a VTuber or make music yourself, even. So like, what's the root of that? Where did your passion for music stem?
I think so. There's a couple of points. The
Hmm.
first is I want to say I was like 11 or 12 or something, and Janice Summers' mother Brock bought me a guitar. I think it was like a dude, it was like a Spanish guitar. It was like this
Oh
like
wow.
small Spanish like acoustic guitar, and she was like, "Right, you going to guitar lessons?" And I was like, "I don't want to go to guitar lessons. I wanna play Final Fantasy VII, please." Um, and she was like, "No, you're gonna go to guitar lessons." So I ended up going to guitar lessons for like years. So I learned how to play the thing without any kind of passion for it. And then I want to say I was fairly late, like I think getting into like a lot of more alternative music.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think the earlier stuff I would listen to was like I can tell you the first album I ever bought, and I can tell you the first single I ever bought.
Mm.
Both bangers, no regrets.
Go
First
ahead.
single I ever
Yeah.
first single I ever bought was it was the Power Rangers theme.
Oh hell yeah.
Dude, that shit goes hard.
The
That
guitar
holds
on
up.
that. Oh my god.
The first album was Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill.
Hell
I
yeah.
I don't know I don't know what possessed me as like a 15-year-old to buy it, but it's great. It's incredible.
I mean,
Absolute bangers. Holds up.
that album, its songs, it could possess anybody to buy it. I mean, clearly it did. It went fucking diamond,
Yeah.
however many times over.
But then I feel like when music television was like at its peak, as far as the UK at least, was like
Right.
for like alternative stuff, we had like you had MTV2, right?
Yeah. I mean, we had. I mean, at least when I was growing up, it wasn't as influential for me as it was probably for past generations.
So I think we had MTV2 and we had you must I feel like you know Kerrang magazine, right?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so Kerrang had like a video music like a music video channel.
Oh,
Um
neat.
yeah, which heavily got me into like a lot of like more like kind of mainstream like pop punk and metal and stuff. A lot of new
Okay.
metal, a lot of new metal.
Yeah.
First show I ever went to, Limp Bizkit.
Oh
It
hell
was
yeah.
it was fire. Technically, the first band I ever saw was Godsmack, which I'm not super pleased about, but it is what it is.
Ah,
But yeah, I watched that and I got into a bunch of bands like Sum 41, like Green Day, like Newfound
nice.
Glory, like Less Than Jake, stuff like that. And that's when I started like, oh, I know how to play this guitar. Let's start a band and let's play like
Oh
Green Day
yeah.
covers.
Hell yeah. No, that's totally the spirit to go into it with. Pick up a guitar, learn three chords. There you go. That's rock and roll.
Easy. I was the only person that could sing in the band, so I was the singer. And that's how I started singing.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's something there's something to be said for singing on your own and then singing with an instrument. I've been really shy up until recently as sort of a singing drummer. I don't know, like it feels like something unlocked for me where I can just sort of go for it as a singer while still at the same time holding down the rhythm. I don't know what it is. I feel like something's clicked for me. You just got to keep doing and doing and doing, and like someday, like you will be right.
Hmm. Yeah, I just like I feel like I don't know how anyone finds out they can sing. Because you have to sing in front of somebody else, and then they're just like, "Oh, I
I
didn't know
mean,
you
for
could
me,
sing."
it was just like when I was in middle school, like I I got super into like Led Zeppelin and like all the hair metal, heavy metal, all the stuff with the super shrieky lead vocalists, right? So I
Yeah.
was I was singing that. I was trying to imitate that in the waning days of my my prepubescent years. So I'd like to think that I sort of forced myself, into the sort of tenor range as a singer, but since then, I don't know. I sang for quite a few years, even, took vocal lessons and sort of had a classically trained voice and what have you. But I don't know. There came a point where I eventually focused more on the drums than singing, even though I still love to carry a tune here or there.
Bands always need a drummer. I can tell you that.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I'm very happy to, have the particular skill set that I do. It's just, the unfortunate thing is, practicing in the big city, as it were. It's hard, I have my own electronic kit and it does the job just fine, but it's not the same, as like an acoustic kit.
No, that's fair, but a lot easier to carry.
Oh yeah, no, no, definitely. I've taken, what is it? I've had a few gigs with one of my bands where I've had to like load in like deconstruct the drum kit with like with an Allen wrench and then load in like piece by piece the kit and then go through the whole process of assembling, deassembling, back and
Put it
forth.
in a giant backpack.
Yeah, it's like it's a living, but I'm happy to have something so portable. Welcome Max Power, welcome Sirius, Fuzzy Lovey, first time here. I take it you're all Brock fans.
I don't think I'm aware of Max. Sirius and Fuzzy are my trusted mods though.
Ah, well, welcome everybody. Welcome in. I'm glad to see y'all. Feel free to chime in with the music talk. Just be sure to follow the rules in the description. So you mentioned you've been to a few concerts in the past. How many concerts have you been to? Like, would you say? I mean, I don't know if you put a number on it, but like.
No, I don't know if I mentioned, like, I work in live music, so.
Oh hell yeah!
Like I'm a tour manager, so I have been to like 100 shows this year. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. No, I kind of feel that, like, I mean, to a lesser degree, I play live music, right? So it's kind of hard for me at the same time to like quantify how many live gigs I have seen, because like, I obviously like I could like count on my hands like all of the big bands that I've gone to see here or there, but like that, I feel like that'd be doing a disservice to all the greater like all the great like local acts that I've seen in my time with playing with them and all that, right?
Well, I think that the only downside about like, I'm not even, I honestly not even like since I started working in live music, because generally like, I guess since tickets moved to digital and stuff, I don't know about you, but I have like a folder with like all my early gig tickets in, like any kind of souvenirs and stuff, which is like so cool to look through.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, oh yeah, I saw fucking My Chemical Romance in like a 250 cap venue.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. But like, I don't remember what I did last week now. I need physical mementos. Yeah,
see, that's why I go so hard for merch. Like big band that I'm a fan of, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They go super hard with like the poster prints and the T-shirts that they sell at the gigs. I mean, I cannot compete with standing in line and getting there early on time for like all the exclusive shit, but I will gladly buy like a T-shirt or any other cool item like memento or just something to remember the gig by. I've even like in the past for I think like Unknown Mortal Orchestra, even like Snarky Puppy I've gone to see. I think I got like mugs at both of those shows. Those it's really cool like when bands do like like more off-kilter merch besides like T-shirts and selling the vinyl and whatnot.
For sure. Socks is a great one.
Oh,
Love
socks.
A pair of socks.
I don't think I've stumbled across like a socks in my time.
I've seen a few pairs of socks.
Yeah. Do you have any fun concert memories?
Shit, that's a deep question.
I mean,
I,
obviously, divulge as much as you're comfortable with.
no, I have a terrible memory.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think like some like real solid memories, dude. I remember okay. I don't know why this flashed into my head. Like
Oh
one of my
yeah.
like super early, like terrible bands. We had like a CD, and I remember. Do you remember Andrew WK?
Oh yeah, party hard guy.
Dude, Andrew WK ruled. He was
Hell
like,
yeah.
went to see Andrew WK, and there was like people were like kind of just getting on the. There's like there was a barrier and there was security, but like I guess people were just kind of getting on the stage and just kind of like dancing a little bit. So I remember like getting on stage with Andrew WK and just like making eye contact and being like, "Hey, like kiss my CD," and he was like, "Hell yeah, brother!" And I was like, I'm sure he like threw that thing out immediately, but like he had a smile on his face, and that meant a lot to me.
Yeah. No, I love I love connecting with musicians like that. I don't know if I have a story quite like that, but I do love, whenever you I don't know if like it's hard to tell when you if you make contact with an artist versus like if they really connect with you sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's like especially if you play into a sold out room, it's like hell yeah, glad for your support. Like
Yeah, yeah.
not gonna remember you when I got off stage though. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Um you're also like super into idol culture and all that stuff. You mentioned to me off stream you went did you go to like Japan to see Sakura Miko?
So I actually went to Japan twice this year.
Oh
The
shit.
first the first time was me and my partner went on a honeymoon to
Oh,
Japan,
very
which like
nice.
just so happened to coincide with I don't know how familiar you are with like Hololive and that kind of vibe.
I vaguely, I used to be more into Hololive like a few years back, but I still I'm vaguely aware of them. What
Oh
was it,
yeah, so
like Holofest?
yeah, exactly. So it would like just coincided with the Holofest, which wasn't
Oh, neat.
deliberate, I promise. So I was just like, hey, we're going. How about we go? That'll be fun. And it was awesome. It was incredible. We saw like 2 shows. And that was just kind of like pretty much everybody. So there's just like like I don't know, like 20 idols on each concert.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then I actually went in October because yeah, Sakura Miko is my Oshi. So I was like, she
Mm.
announced like a solo show. I had like a gap in my work schedule, and I was like, it works in a lottery system. I made a couple of videos about it because fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
going to Japan. I'm gonna make some videos.
Oh, hell
Um,
yeah.
like a gap in my work schedule. So I was like, oh yeah. So the thing with Japanese shows is it's a lot of it is lottery based. So
Yeah.
you can't just buy a ticket. You have to like
Mm,
apply for the lottery, and then you can win the chance to buy a ticket. So I was like,
right.
I'll enter the lottery, and if I win it, then maybe I'll look at going. Flights aren't too bad. And I
Man.
didn't win the first time, but then like they did like 3 rounds. I won the second one, so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to Japan for like 5 days. And it was incredible.
Hell yeah.
The I don't know, just like the energy. Like the thing is, like a lot of them, even just getting into the musicianship, a lot of the
Yeah.
music is just like a lot of Japanese musicianship is incredible to
Oh
start
yeah.
with,
Yeah.
but like even like the genres are like it's like I'm listening to like a skate punk band or like a pop punk band, but it's
Yeah.
just with a cute girl singing on the top.
I
It's
feel
like
that.
you like mute the vocals and it could be a skate punk song.
Yeah, yeah, no, anime musicianship, songwriting, I mean J-pop songwriting, rather. It's
Incredible.
incredible, like the sort of just all the chord progressions and the vibes. It feels just right. I mean, I it feels so bad to reduce that sound just to like anime opening music or what have you, but like it does strike that same chord nostalgically with me.
Yeah, like the even before I kind of got super into like VTubers and that kind of genres, like there were definitely a few like just straight up Japanese skate punk bands. There's
Oh yeah.
like Dizzy Sonfist is really good.
Mm.
Shoot, special thanks. There's a bunch of really good bands from Japan.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know how much you know about like early Japanese heavy metal, but I've sort of been plunging headfirst into that recently with all the research I've done into my glam deep dives, like there's this band called Bow Wow. They were essentially like the Japanese Van Halen of their time. Like their guitarist, I think it was Kyoji Yamamoto is his name. Fucking stellar, and like I don't know, it's just a fantastic, very rich history that doesn't get talked a lot about in in the West.
Oh, so the weirdest thing for me is we actually toured Japan, I think 2017, before I was really into a lot of Japanese culture.
Oh yeah.
And it's weird that like some of the smaller like so say like there's a band called High Standard, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
band who are like would play to like maybe 200 people in the UK.
Mm.
Like a skate punk band, like pop punk,
Right.
uh, stadium band in Japan. It's like that kind of. There's a couple of bands. There's a band called Wanama who are really good, like stadium music, but they're
Oh
basically
yeah.
just playing like throwback 2000s like skate ska punk. It rules.
You gotta love that whole big in Japan phenomena. It never
Yeah.
fails. Yeah, I'd love to go to Japan at some point. I feel like they go super hard for like so many cool things over there.
Plus great corner shops.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, if I could I mean, Akiba's the dream, right? I mean, that's obviously every Western weeb's their destination. I don't know. I'd like to see like what they have to offer with all their nature too at some point.
Yeah, it just rules. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, so you're like you've said you're obviously you're a tour manager. You're also in a touring band yourself though too, right?
Yeah, I play in a band called Eat Defeat, and it's
Oh,
like
very nice.
similar vibes. It's like skate punk with like synths and stuff. Just like a lot of vocal harmonies,
Mm-hmm.
pop songs, but like, fast and loud.
Yeah, yeah. How is that sort of life on the road if you've done like very many tours? I've played a bunch of, concerts in bands in the past, but very, very rarely have I done what I could consider like a tour, you know?
I mean, it can be pretty rough. Like I'm I'm pretty much the good thing about my schedule at this point is I'm kind of away from home, let's say like
Hmm.
6 months, and I'm home. Basically when I'm home, I'm just home. I'm not doing anything.
Right,
It's
right.
midnight. It's midnight on Sunday, and I'm doing this. We're talking. I don't have to go to
Nice.
work tomorrow. It's pretty good. I don't have to go to work till January 30th.
Oh, very nice.
Um,
Yeah.
but then I don't get home until like June 15th. So it's give and take.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I bet it. Like I I imagine it's oh my god, like I think of like, King Gizzard again, like they recently got done like a leg in fucking November of like however many dates. I can't imagine what it's like to be like however many miles overseas and just like night after night delivering like a killer fucking 2-hour performance for your throngs of screaming fans and just being expected to keep up that energy for an entire tour.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I haven't done too many like bus tours, but even for like a band at like a big comfortable level,
Yeah.
it's rough. It's rough. It's like it gets to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping on a
Mm-hmm.
bus every night is
Oh
it can
yeah,
have its
that
ups and downs,
that too, yeah. I'm just fortunate to live in an area, like I said, New York City. It's even though like a lot of a lot of venues are closing down over the years and whatnot, there's still a healthy amount left, I'd say. There's still a community for like rock music in Brooklyn and all that.
Oh, I was in shit. Where was I in Brooklyn? It's called. Is it Brooklyn Steel? I think. Yeah,
Ah,
Brooklyn Steel. I was there. I watched a band called Joyce Manor.
oh, neat.
They like a week ago actually, exactly a week ago.
Yeah, yeah, there's some
That's like a
damn there's some
yeah.
damn good venues in Brooklyn. Let me see. Uh, do you have any wild concert memories of like performing on the road?
Well, I think I think I briefly mentioned we got to tour Japan in 2017.
Right, yeah. How was
That was just
that?
it was crazy. It was obviously like small shows. We were doing headline stuff, so we're playing to
Nice.
like 50, 100 people a night, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
very surreal. Like those 50 to 100 people are kind of going crazy, like incredibly passionate.
Hell
Just like
yeah.
it was, I don't know, like nothing kind of specific jumps out at me. Just that, but just like that whole, we did like a week there. It was just incredibly surreal. We
Yeah.
actually we had it was just weird. We at one point we had an Ibanez endorsement.
Oh, that's
So like
fun.
the guys from like there were people from like Ibanez at the shows and stuff. And it's like, hell yeah, thanks for the free guitars. Can't wait for you to see us play to 25 people. Hope this is worth it for you.
Wow, that's incredible. I've never had the experience of being sponsored by a corporation, but I'm sure it'd be very surreal.
Pretty good. Just getting free guitars for doing, pretty average pop punk is good. I would recommend it.
That sounds like the life. So you obviously you're very much into like ska and pop punk and all that stuff. What are some of your other favorite like bands, artists, genres, and what have you?
Uh I'm I don't know. It's like it's cliche to say like I'm kind of a fan of everything, but big into like just straight up pop music.
No,
Like
it's good to have your ears to like all sorts of influences. That's something that I've come to realize. Studying music in college, jamming in like jazz improv. It's good to have an open ear to other ideas.
no, for sure. Like I just some of the I just like some of the best shows I've been to have been pop shows. Just like you
I'm
like you just the production value and just like wow, this is just a such a different experience.
Yeah, I mean, like they put their full effort into like the production and like making sure you get your money's worth. I mean, if you're gonna go to like a major like fucking stadium and shell out 200 something bucks to see the hot new artist of the day, it better be worth it.
That is the nice thing about working in the music industry is that I don't remember the last time I paid to go to a show, which
Oh
is
yeah,
is
that's
pretty nice.
that's fucking lucky. Oh my god. Yeah,
That
like I mean, I think like whenever I think of like big pop star shows like that, I mean, obviously the gold standard these days is like the Taylor Swift Eras tour, right? Like I look at shit like that, I look at the hype behind it and like how wild people go for tickets to see like and like
that's
that's just sorry, go
oh,
ahead.
no, you're good. So I've seen Taylor Swift twice.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
not anytime recently though. I
Right.
went on the whenever 1989 was out. That was like 10 plus years ago.
Right,
I
right.
specifically flew to Dublin, which is not a huge jump, but it's still like a flight. It's technically a different country, you know.
Right, right.
Uh, and then the last time I actually got a free ticket, but that was like the tour after, and I was just like, I kind of like I do still like Taylor Swift, but I'm just like definitely not that enthusiastic anymore.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, I guess I'll go. And it was pretty good. And I didn't pay £60 for a hoodie, so that was good.
Oh my god, yeah. Like all these I can imagine merch is fucking expensive these days.
I think it's honestly one of the only ways bands actually make money.
Yeah, I mean like what? Ticketmaster's charging them out the ass for, the live concerts, the streaming is charging them out the ass, or rather ripping them off to, to a merciless degree. So you might as well sell t-shirts and all these
But
other
even
beat
then,
ads.
the fun thing about touring in the we don't really have it over here, but I did a tour in the US.
Oh yeah.
Merch cuts are a really fun part of American live music culture, where venues
Hmm.
say, "Hey, you can sell merch in our venue, but we're going to take 20% of that."
Yeah.
Oh, cool! You can fuck off.
Yeah, that's that ain't pleasant at all. I'm very, I'm very happy to be in like in a city still, with a scene where people still set up their merch stands, and it's very cute. I was at a show the other night, and a guy, I think it was like they set up like a lighting box with the band's name like right next to the table, and the guy, when they went on to play, like the lead singer, he was like. You can see, our merch table's right there. It's right where the sign is. You can't miss it.
Gotta draw attention to the merch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hello, Glenn Schroeder. Glad to see you. Welcome, welcome. And by the way, RC, I'm sorry if I ignored you earlier. I totally did. The 2000 man music. I'm not sure what you're referring to with that. I mean, I guess my BGM kind of has that vibe, real slowed down, but I don't know.
That's probably me. I'm the 2000s man music. That is the genres that I primarily partake of.
Oh hell
I don't
yeah.
listen to music produced outside of 2000.
That's fair. I mean, I was gonna ask like if you had any opinions on like any punk genres from before then, or
I have opinions. I don't like it.
Oh no, you're not a fan of like early punk or hardcore or anything like that?
Hardcore, definitely not. And
Okay.
if I listen to something, it's gotta have a melody.
That's
I know,
fair.
I know you can get melodic hardcore, but it's like there's a couple of bands I like, but like for sure not old. Honestly, like the things that I know I like is like melody, like
Right.
harmonies. I like good production. So a lot
Yeah.
of like early punk is like we can discuss what is and what isn't good production all day, I guess. But
Yeah.
I like
mean-
overproduction. I'll say that.
It's subjective. You're definitely entitled to your opinion there. I just really do enjoy like those I don't know. I like the Germs. I love the Descendants. I even a lot of
Descendants
those.
for sure. Descendants, yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Like even
I
a
feel
lot
like
of Sorry, go ahead.
I think a bit like I would probably say the Descendants were more pop punk though, right?
I mean, yeah, they were arguably like the progenitors of the genre. One of them, at least. I don't know. There's a whole lineage of punk rock that is buried in is in old cassettes and singles that I have no knowledge of. So.
But I got to like I did a European tour this summer.
Right.
And like
yeah.
Descendants on a few of those shows, so that was
hell
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Gotta love the Descendants. Their drumming is fucking stellar. Like Bill Stevenson, he's incredible.
Oh, he's like not only that, but he what is his production studio? It's like it's mastering as the Blasting Rooms. He's like mastered a bunch of like most of the good punk and skate punk records like released in the last 20 years. He's
that's
like
cool.
mastered.
I didn't
Or
know
at least
that.
has been mastered like his studio.
That's awesome. I had no idea. Gotta love when the elders continue to help the youngins along.
Yeah, but I think it's like earlier than that. I'd probably skew more like new wave and ska as opposed to punk.
No, that's
Like-
totally fair. Yeah, I
love the Fleece, like Blondie, Madness, the Specials, stuff like that.
Yeah, I love a lot of like sort of early art punk, like Talking Heads, Television. Television is fucking incredible. Like if you've never heard Marquee Moon, I definitely recommend that.
I don't think I have.
They're I don't know. It was a really unique scene that was around in New York in like the in the late like late 70s, like very artsy, very I don't know. I guess avant-garde's a word for it, but I don't know. It's very melodic still and very obviously it has a I don't know. I hesitate to say sophistication because obviously I feel like they were a bit tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know.
Glenn Schroeder elders? Yes. They're 100 years old. Have you seen them?
I mean,
Still
I don't know.
absolutely ripped, but they're old as shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a. We are living in geez, how many years? It's like 40 years, like between now and like the 80s. It's crazy to me.
It's
Like,
depressing as hell.
yeah, like next year it's gonna be I'm actually covering like 1985 in the next part of my glam metal deep dive. So it's crazy like getting to go back and research all this shit that's gonna be like 40 years old next year, like the fucking
Wow.
TMRC hearings in the United States. Oh my god. Time keeps on slipping into the future indeed. um so you play the bass, is that right?
I play a few things. In the Eat Defeat, I just sing and I play synth. But I
Oh,
do play
nice.
I have played pretty much everything in that band,
Okay.
including bass. But currently, I'm mainly just the singer.
Oh, nice. So, how long have you been, I guess, active on all those instruments? Like, is that a sort of thing where you've just sort of picked up instruments as you've needed to, or?
Literally, yeah. I'm like not unskilled, but I have no patience for like actively learning anything. So I'm pretty good at like picking things up and just being like, okay, what do I need to play on this thing? My music theory is like absolute garbage, but I can play the 10 notes that I need to play on the synth. I can play a little bit of trumpet that I need to. Um,
There
but
you
yeah,
go.
it's been a while.
Ooh, Glenn Schroeder, my respects.
That fucking rules. Hell yeah,
hell yeah,
Glenn.
yeah. You gotta, you know the saying, respect your elders and all that stuff. Hello, Matt. What's good? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. That's cool. I wish I had more gumption to pick up, instruments on my own time. I did, what was it, a few years ago, back when I was starting off kind of as a variety streamer. I tried to do like harmonica learning streams, and I think I do still have like a few skills that I picked up from them, but otherwise
What do
I'm
you?
not.
Okay, I need like I've never. It's never an instrument that I've like delved into. I need like slight elaboration on what are the skills needed to play a harmonica. I'm not denying that there are skills needed to play a harmonica, but
You gotta
what?
suck and you gotta blow. That's
Like,
the long
is
and
it?
short of it.
Yeah, because you get harmonicas in certain like keys, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously there are like there are like sets of diatonic harmonicas, but you can also buy like a chromatic harmonica or whatever that you can switch between various scales. I bought like this set of like, I think it was like A through G harmonicas or what have you.
Yeah.
A few of them are broken now, but but I got to I got to learning a bit of harmonica technique. One of the members of King Gizzard was big into harmonica, so I was inspired by them to sort of take it up. And
Oh yeah.
I'd like to think, I'd like to think I learned something, but it's been a hot minute. I've probably forgotten most of it.
No, I mean, there's nothing like, hmm, I don't know if there's like a more satisfying instrument to hear a solo on than a harmonica.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't like, dude. Some like, I want to see like some like old blind like 70-year-old guy just going blue in the face like shredding on a harmonica.
Absolutely, that is the vibe. So there's something about breaking in blues harps by Sophie. There might be, but if there is, I certainly wasn't privy to it when I was learning back then. It was a fun time doing those streams, but I think my folly was sort of relying on those streams as my sole sort of practice for those harmonicas. I mean, I don't really. I'm not the sort to really want to commit to like learning scales or anything like that.
Absolutely. I don't
Like
learn anything for anyone.
like all the more respect to everybody who chooses to get all theoretical and stuff and master scales and master modes and master all sorts of stuff, but I do not have the time in the world for any of that. uncle got me into the J Giles band. Magic Dick is such a great harp player. It chills when I hear Whammer Jammer. I have not listened to that much J Giles. You know, of course I know like Centerfold and Love Stinks and all that radio friendly fare, but I know they were like a blues act early on, weren't they? Interesting. I'll have to check them out. Let me see. So, like, who are your biggest, I would say, musical inspirations for your style of play? Do you have any, like, anybody who's particularly influential on your technique?
I think I would I don't play the bass as much as I used to, and I kind of I don't play it in the band that I'm playing in, but I think bass is still, I would consider that to be my main instrument. I think the bass, I'm not gonna say I can play anything to the level of the people that I'm inspired by, but as far as people
that's fine.
stuff, I picked up the bass. Roger from Less Than Jake is a huge one for me. Just
neat.
really fun, walking bass lines, ska punk bass lines. But also I don't know if you ever heard of a band called the Wilhelm Scream.
Well, I know the concept of the Wilhelm Scream, but I don't know the bands.
They're this incredible shreddy skate punk technical band from
that's cool.
From Matt Curty. They're actually from the Boston area. I think they're either from Boston or Salem, somewhere like that. But
Boston has a pretty huge ska and / skate punk scene, don't they? I know Mighty Mighty Boss Tones are from there.
Rest in peace.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Boss Tones, Big D and the Kids Table, fucking Dropkick Murphys.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of good bands from Boston, but yeah, Wilhelm Scream, incredible bass player. It's just a lot of bass tapping, which is just wow. I wish I had the patience and the skill to even comprehend that.
Yeah, that's a lot of practice, a lot of fucking up and starting over again, and I feel like I'm better to do that on a rhythmic instrument, because I feel like I have more of an innate understanding of rhythm. I grew up on rhythm games back when I was middle school, high school, and that's what really got me into learning the drums.
What were you playing? What rhythm games?
Rock Band, Guitar Hero, that was my shit back in the day.
I refuse to get rid of my Rock Band instruments.
Honestly, good for you. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, they went up in price. The last 2 house moons, my partner's been so do you need these? It's hey, I haven't touched these for 15 years, but you never know when you might need to bust out some fucking, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Paramore have fun drum parts. Maybe I want to play Rock Band.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm half considering asking my mom to get me one of those recently manufactured guitars, for Fortnite Festival or whatever for Christmas, just so I can start playing Clone Hero or yet another rhythm game or one of those fan-made projects that they have online.
God, I literally just had a sponsored ad for it was a Fortnite controller with buttons. It was a square controller, but it had the fret button markers. You know what I mean? The pushy button, fret buttons. On the top of it. So it was wild. I was shit, do I want that? Do I want to play Fortnite Festival? It's nah, I'm good.
I mean, I don't
Actually,
know.
no. That's a funny, the band I toured with who are from Salem, Massachusetts, 3 of them work for they worked for Harmonix.
Oh, yeah.
And they got bought out by Epic Games, so they now work on Fortnite. Which is pretty fun. So.
It's tragic, the tale of Harmonix. I wish they I wish the music I wish the rhythm game landscape hadn't collapsed around them, but goddamn you Activision, goddamn you Bobby Kotick.
They're all doing okay, at least.
Yeah, that's
they got
true.
nice jobs for Epic Games now.
Let's see. Man, yeah, I wish that I could get into that's one instrument that I really wish I could learn if I had the time is bass. You know, I already have one part of the rhythm section. If I could just get that, I could unlock like so many more opportunities for like making music on my own. You know.
Do you play a guitar? Do you play like stringed
No,
instruments? Okay.
I only play the drums really. What was it? I did like temporarily back when I was in college. I did take lessons in like timpani and I learned a bit of marimba, but good luck buying a fucking marimba for like a New York City apartment complex, you know?
Immediately evicted.
Well, I have heard like there is like apparently like a synth pad like that's easy to set up like as a sort of I guess like actual acoustic marimba substitute, but I don't know. I feel like those shits are still expensive. Ugh. Some of those mixes on the Rock Band games are better than recorded version. Yeah, that's interesting. Like how like I know like there's a story of how what was it, Death Magnetic, that was super absurdly loud like when it was released for retail, but when the tracks were released as DLC for like Guitar Hero, they were actually like super clean, super like they weren't mixed to shit. It's interesting, that story. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I guess kind of related to what I was saying, what other instruments would you learn if you had the spare time?
I have had a trombone for like 8 years. It
Oh
is
yeah.
green. It is actually I have 2 fucking trombones because one of the bands that I tour with that comes over bought a trombone and left it with me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
would I would love to play the trombone, but it's like the trumpet makes sense to me because you have to I don't know how much you know about like brass instruments, but like you have to like you have like what's called embouchure. So you have to
Hmm.
like change the mouth shape to get
Oh
like
yeah.
different notes. So that's fine. Same for both instruments.
Yeah,
Trumpet at
yeah.
least like is logical to me because you have set buttons. And
Hmm.
it's like
Hmm.
this button makes this note and this button makes this note and I press these two and it makes this note. Trombone's
Hmm.
wild. Trombone's like what I imagine like it's I don't know. I guess like somebody mentioned fretless bass in chat and it was like
Oh
fretless
yeah,
bass
yeah.
seems wild because you're like you kind of like you don't I thrive on like boundaries. I like need to know when the frets are. So like
Yeah,
trombone's
yeah.
just like at least with the bass I have a fundamental understanding of like okay, well these are where the frets should be
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
this is what the notes should be.
Hmm.
Trombone I'm just like wild. I'm just like
Oh my
hey,
god.
I could probably spend a week watching videos and learning how to play it. I don't know, man. ADHD is wild.
Yeah, no, I feel that with trumpet. Honestly, trumpet reminds me so much just instinctually of like a slide whistle. I can't erase that connection. But you know, I do remember, you know, I when I was in college, I played with, you know, big bands and jazz improv groups. I have a lot of respect for people who are able to, you know, shape their embouchure and able to play that shit, you know.
I remember I used to play trumpet in like a ska punk band, and
Hmm.
my technique was so bad because I didn't practice. Because you have to practice the thing, like it's like with guitar, like, you have to play because you have to build up calluses so it doesn't like shred your fingers. It's like a similar thing with playing like horns where you have to practice because you have to strengthen your lip muscles to be able to hit like the embouchures consistently. But like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't. So like I would have this awful technique where I would
Yeah.
basically like make like an okay sign with my hand, my thumb and forefinger, and like
Yeah.
use that to like make a seal. I remember like
Yeah.
some guy coming up to me after the show and being like, "Hey, it's a really interesting technique. Like, what is why'd you do that?" And I'm just like, not very good at trumpet. It's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a classical instruments are fucking they can be hard to get to wrap your head around. It's like I so I used to play violin back in elementary school. I was kind of conscripted into it low key, but You know, I
Into the
played.
violin army.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because our school was still kind of getting off the ground and they needed to, like, sort of set up their arts program somehow. And
They had a
I,
violin quota they needed to meet.
yeah, yeah. I picked up the violin. I played for like 5 years. I never practiced. And the thing the thing with the violin is, obviously there's certain finger placements in order to get like clean in tune notes in the scale. And usually with beginner violinists they put like tape on it, like stickers, tape across the neck, what have you. I never had, I never was able to take my tape off because I never practiced well enough to knew where, where my finger placements would matter.
I see. Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Like it's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the patience to learn. Just like so instruments like the synth is like it's easy because like it's more of a memory thing than
Right.
like
Yeah.
I mean ultimately I guess everything's a memory thing, but like just like okay, I have my synth next to me. I have like bits of colored tape on like to indicate which is which song and which
Yeah.
note
Yeah.
the which song starts on. It's just like cool. I just got to remember this pattern and it's fine. I don't have to learn the scales or actually learn what the notes are.
Oh my gosh. I got shot in the mouth as a kid, so these types of instruments were not my thing. Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna make it pretty difficult. I don't know. Trombone's got a pretty wide mouthpiece though.
You never know. I mean, geez, I kind of low key have the desire to, feel what it's like to play a tuba, but I
I
I
thought you
feel
were for a second there. I thought you were gonna say you want
to
to know
get
what it
shot in
feels
the
like to get
mouth.
shot in the mouth.
No,
Like, please don't say
no.
that.
Oh my god, no, no. But I feel like tuba is like a very, very like it requires a lot of power to get a sound out of, and I don't know if I could do it, but I'd be curious to try.
Dude, what's the fucking? It's a sousaphone, right? Which is the one that wraps around your body.
Oh yeah, yeah, something like that.
That rules. I'd love to play that, but
Mm.
you have to be like 7 foot tall and like stacked just to lift it.
uh, Shout out to marching band people. They do not fuck around.
Yeah, that's what like I feel like this country was missing. I feel like that's why all the good ska punk came out of the U.S. Band geeks. Like we didn't have band geeks to like pick horns from.
Oh my god, yeah, yeah. The U.S. has definitely has the more rich band culture, I would say. Whether it's band camp, whether it's adjudication concerts, whether it's jazz bands themselves. Uh, let's see. Uh, so tell me a little bit more about Eat Defeat, right? How long have you all been together for?
I want to say 2011, so it's a long time. It's been like, jeez, it's been 13 years. Yeah, it's like it's there's been a lot of different kind of iterations of the band.
Yeah.
Like I'm basically the only original member at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it started out more as honestly more of a because the band that I was in beforehand was just like a straight up ska punk band. So we
Mm.
started with the intention to be a ska band. Then it just kind of morphed into like a pop punk band.
Mm-hmm.
Had like a skate punk phase, and then right now it's just kind of like it's just kind of like pop punk with like synths, kind of more influenced by stuff like Motion City Soundtrack. I don't know if you're like know that band.
I've heard the name. I don't know if I know the sound.
Super fun. It's just like kind of like emo-y pop punk with like cool lead synth lines.
Oh, nice, nice. I dig that. What was I gonna say? Do you guys have any further plans for the future? I know I was kind of snooping around your Spotify page before, streaming all that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to listening to any of your stuff, but I know you've already got quite the extensive discography.
Yeah, like I think we just put out an album this year, which was cool. We got to do like an awesome sold out tour with some friends. to kind of promote that. We just it's just kind of a weird situation because we're all kind of like I because I work and I'm on tour a lot of the time. I don't get a chance to tour that much with Eat Defeat.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
a lot of the other guys are like busy too, so it's kind of just like when we do stuff, we kind of do it and we go hard and we get stuff done. But then
Mhm.
there'll just be like huge gaps in between actually
Yeah.
doing anything.
That that's
So
that's the hard thing I've found about being like an adult musician that I mean hasn't quite made it. Has like a fan base or whatever, but hasn't quite broken into the mainstream, right? You know, because everybody's day gigs conflicts with getting together to continue to do the cool shit. It's very tragic.
yeah, well, so the intention was originally when I got into like my line of work by driving. So like I owned a van, like a 9 seat like passenger van. So it'd be like American bands would come over and I would drive them, and I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna like buy this van so we can tour all the time, and I'll drive a couple of bands so like I have enough money to live on. But like
Oh yeah.
it's definitely gonna be just for us touring, and then within a year, I was just like, ah, shit, I have no time to tour myself because I'm driving everybody else. But it's been cool. We've honestly got a lot of opportunities because of that.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
with like a lot of the bands that I've got to tour with, like we've gotten to like open tours, open for bands and stuff. Your friend at work has an Op Ivy tattoo. Hell yeah, please do. You should. There's a label in the US as well called Bad Time Records, which is like
Oh yeah.
every good ska punk release, and there are still good ska punk releases. I know it seems unlikely. Like, every good ska punk release of like the last 5 years is on that label.
Hmm.
We got to release our album through their like sister label,
Oh, that's cool.
which they kind of um, the basically Mike who runs it is basically like, I want to put out records that aren't just ska, so let's do like a weird punk label.
Hmm.
So we got yeah, we're very involved in the ska scene for a band that has like 2 ska songs maybe.
There you go. I mean, it's all about adjacency, I guess.
No, for sure. It's just we're a weird band, so it's cool there's nothing weirder than a ska band.
Oh
So,
yeah.
it's we've always got ska bands as friends.
Man, I can't say that I've actually played with very many ska acts myself. I mean, I don't know if New York necessarily is a ska town, but like I I am familiar with, some of the music.
Yeah, I can't like I'm sure there are a bunch of New York bands, but I can think of like a lot from like Jersey, from Boston, from like everywhere, like Philly, like everywhere around New York, but I can't think of any specifically from New York. Maybe like
Mm,
I think the Toasters are from New York,
mm.
maybe, but I'm pretty sure that guy's British, so I don't know if that counts.
I've been listening to this group called La Lome. It's like guitar-driven Latin sounding stuff, no vocals. Interesting. I can't say I know that much about guitar or Latin guitar music. I do. What was it a few years back? I think I was actually through the Rock Band games. They introduced me to Rodrigo y Gabriela. That's a really fucking cool duo. Have you ever heard of Rodrigo y Gabriela?
I have not.
They're really interesting. They're like a Mexican sort of acoustic guitar duo. They play these really intense acoustic music. They're kind of influenced, not just by traditional classical guitar stylings, but also by like Metallica and a bunch of other like contemporary rock and metal and all that. It's cool music. Uh,
Mark, here's the funny thing. We actually, I forgot about this. We actually just did a NoFX cover, which is the first cover I think we've ever recorded. But it was
oh,
basically friends of ours did it was a Punkin Drublick tribute album. So we covered a couple of songs from Punkin Drublick.
oh, that's
Uh,
fun.
I like NoFX. Fine. It wasn't my choice, but it was a good. It
Yeah,
sounds okay.
yeah.
The funny thing,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in a weird clash of my cultural interests, when I was in Japan the first time watching Hololive, which is I don't know what the best way to describe that kind of vibe to people who have no idea about it. It would be
It's like
like it's like anime music, but it's like the live show is like it's a live band who like fucking rip, but
I mean,
then
I
there's
liken it to a Kiss concert personally, but that's
well,
solely because of my history. Sorry, go
well,
ahead.
I think it's like so they have like a big screen in between the band, and there's like basically 3D live captured actual human beings who are singing and dancing appear on the screen as like cartoon characters is the
Yeah,
boiling
yeah.
it down. It's awesome. And so I went to see that in literally the same arena, like next door, like NoFX was playing their final Japanese shows. So I did, like it's which so I we were in like we went to like to get some food or something, and we were in like an elevator, a lift with like a bunch of Japanese punks, and they looked at me and they were like they saw my tattoos and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, um, here to see NoFX." And then one of the other guys looks at me and like sees like I have like my VTuber pins and stuff. And he's just like, "No, no, 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 otaku." I was like, "Ah, shit, fucking
That's funny.
outed." But
Uh,
I actually drove 4 members of NoFX. Every member except for Fat Mike has been
that's
in my van.
cool. That's really neat.
So I don't need to go see him in Japan. I've driven him. Leave me alone.
That's true. I actually don't know that much about NoFX. Obviously, I've heard scores about them. You know, a bunch of other people have spoken about them, but I've never I've never really dove into them personally. Like, are they like pop punk, or are they more just like punk?
It's definitely more. It really punk is so difficult
Yeah.
to pin down. But like, they're probably. I think people would not so much classify them as pop punk. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like very snotty. It's very like nasally.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think the thing about NoFX is just that they've had like so many albums and they've been a band for so long.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't super have like a sound. They have a lot of songs that are very different.
That's true. So they're
Kind of
kind of
within the
like
same
Bad
genre.
Religion in that sense that they've just been around like a long ass time, and they've done all sorts of things.
Yeah, so you know, like Bad Religion have like Brett from Bad Religion started Epitaph.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
Fat Mike from NoFX started Fat Wreck Chords, which is
Right.
like the other huge like punk label.
Mm-hmm. Saw Kiss in '98. You know, fascinating sort of blind fans who are there who've seen what Kiss looks like. Love them for the sound alone. That's interesting. At least in Maiden, where punk ever. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, sort of all the bands who've been punk adjacent to from the beginning. Like, the Police, they were way more punk starting off. Same too for like Iron Maiden.
That's probably why I like Iron Maiden. I don't
Oh
like a
yeah.
ton of metal, but like I fucking love Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden's great. Like those first few albums with Paul Di'Anno, rest in peace. They are fucking stellar. Like if you love like good like sort of crossover metal punk music, that is peak. Sometimes
sure.
NoFX sound like thrash metal. Interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah. I like a good band that's able to incorporate many different moods. I might have to check them out more in depth at some point. Let's see.
Sublime's overrated as hell. Don't get Sublime. I'm sorry.
I don't know much Sublime other than like the big songs. You know, I think it's cool that whatchamacallit, that the lead singer's son eventually grew up and became the new lead singer, and now they're coming back and doing stuff. I think that's a neat little sort of thing in a roundabout rock history way, but I don't know. I don't have too many thoughts on Sublime other than that.
That is wild. That is fun. I like that's got to be very strange for like the other guys in the band, but I don't know. Hell yeah, as long as they're having a good time.
Yeah, punk and thrasher cousin. Oh yeah, no, I wish I had more time to get into like sort of the history of like crossover thrash, like in I guess my upcoming content. I mean, I'm gonna talk about thrash when it comes to like their relationship to the glam metal scene, but it's like there's so many ties between like metalheads and like hardcore punks back in the 80s. It's wild. Let's see.
Gua, dude, Gua rule. Gua play. There's a punk festival in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
which is called Fest. Which is usually like a lot of punk bands, a lot of ska bands, emo bands, but like Gua played. It was incredible. The front, like if you go to a Gua show and you wear a white shirt, that's a mistake, and your shirt is not going to be white.
Oh my
But then
god.
I want to say like the week after they have a bar. Shit, I forget where it is in America, but where I forget where Gua's from, but whichever city they're from, they have like a bar.
Oh yeah, the Guar bar or something.
Gua
like
bar,
that.
exactly. Yeah, which I got to go to, which is pretty cool.
I
I
saw
love a gimmick band.
I saw they had a Tiny Desk concert, and it was
Yeah.
really fucking fun. I don't know much about Guar personally, but I do love their whole shtick. I think it's really fun.
Super fun. I like a band with a gimmick. There's
Yeah.
there's a pop punk band called Masked Intruder, who very good band, like very good like pop punk songs, really melodic. But their
Mhm.
gimmick is there's 4 of them, and they each wear a different colored like ski mask.
Oh yeah.
They're just, and they have like matching, they wear like matching colored shoes, and they have matching colored guitars. But they also have on stage with them a guy who's just dressed like a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
who's like, because they're supposed to be like prisoners who are like on parole. And then at some point the guy who's the police officer like rips his shirt off and starts like dancing and gets in the crowd. It's very fun. I love any band with a gimmick. I'm immediately on board.
Hell yeah. Drippy asked bit up, are we gonna witness a hair metal renaissance in 2025? I doubt it. I mean, no matter how hell-bent other forces seem to be to drag us to the fucking 80s, I doubt that we're gonna be we're gonna be quite as retro focused in terms of our rock sound. At least I think rock has sort of moved beyond the need for hair metal. I don't know. Maybe that sounds pretentious of me to say, but I don't know if the sort of hair sound is really relevant for these days, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
2025 is all about the Creed reunion, let's be honest.
Oh my fucking god. Can they take us higher is the question.
I mean, all I'm thinking is I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking,
Let's go there. Don't matter, Guar is fantastic either way. Hell yeah. I'm going to. You mind if I go to the bathroom real quick?
please.
Cool. I think I might top off on water as well, but I will be right back. Let me bring up the glass. All right, be back.
I don't know if I'm still here or if I'm muted, chat. You'll have to let me know. I'm gonna respond to you, and you can let me know if I'm muted or not. Well, I guess you can't. I think I might be muted. But if while Rezzy's gone, if we'd all like to talk, could we all discuss the Creed reunion of 2025? Revolutionary vocalist Scott Stapp, famous for such yeah, okay, fantastic, because this is important, and this is important. Did anyone watch that video where Scott Stapp wrote a song for the baseball team? I forget what are they, like the Miami Marlins or something? It's definitely Florida, right? Because obviously it's Florida. And it was it's one of the best things I've ever heard. I don't know how you feel about like terrible people making terrible music, but like that is kind of the pinnacle of that for me, is seeing Scott Stapp singing a baseball anthem. Am I one of those punk bassists who puts fishing weights on my rhythm hand? Wait, is that a thing? What, to like build up so you can strum faster? Shit, I'm not that smart. I don't have that much dedication to playing fast. Honestly, I would just like play half the notes. Don't fart. I would say I just play half the notes, because the thing is, when you're in a punk band, you can get away with that, right? Nobody's like, hey, people are listening to the notes that you're not playing. Am I right? Now, it might be jazz. I might have got my genres slightly confused there. But yeah, no, I don't. I don't practice. So, in true punk band fashion, but I am officially endorsed by Ibanez Guitars, so they've got a real eye for talent. In case you can't tell, because I am British, 90% of what I am saying is sarcastic. So apologies for that. But 3 chords, yeah, if that, really. I've got a guitar. I could play you. Hang on, where's my guitar? There you go. That was 3. Oh, I think Rezzy's back.
Yep, I am back. How's it going?
We were just talking about. Did you ever hear the Scott Stapp, the lead singer of Creed? In case you weren't aware.
Yeah.
He recorded a song for the baseball team, I guess, that he likes, which is the Marlins. I think that's probably somewhere in Florida.
Oh my God,
Maybe.
I don't think I've heard that. No.
Oh, I can't remember how it goes, which is just a testament to how good it is. But it's definitely called like "Fly Marlins Fly" or something like that.
There's this one video of Creed performing Higher that just lives rent free in my head. I can't remember exactly what stadium they played, but it was like for a football event. It was like halftime for some sort of event.
Yes.
And they played it with a fucking gymnastic team doing choreography like right next to them, and it's just the most early 2000s, like pre 9/11 fucking vibe.
Yeah, 9/11 took a lot of things from us, including Scott Stapp flying around the arena. Couldn't get away with it now. He'd need to be TSA checked.
Oh my God. We can't have Creed anymore because woke. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if you use Instagram, but there's a page called Catatonic Youths.
Oh my
which
God,
I would highly recommend. They post like snippets of like, it's just like the worst meme kind of music related stuff you can think of.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll have to check that out on my own time.
Very, very good.
What if I want 75 in these guitars? It's 10 pounds of bronze in/on them. Wow. It's sustained forever, but Carlos Santana probably needed shoulder surgery. Wow, I can imagine. That's a heavy metal instrument right there.
Oh yeah, he's just getting shit faced off his own champagne. He's good.
You've talked a bit that you're a bit of a tour manager. How is that job? I've never exactly thought too much on like the work of it. Is that a lot of logistics, a lot of just talking with people?
It is both of those things. It is a lot of logistics and it is a lot of talking to people. It's also, have you ever looked after a small child?
I can't say I have, no.
Okay, well, imagine you're looking after like 5 small children, but they're fully grown adult people who really love drinking and really aren't that bothered about being places when they should be. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I've had some of the best times of my life. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is very stressful. But it's worth it, and it's fucking awesome, being part of the vibe.
Yeah,
I literally got to tour with my favorite band of all time this past year.
Hell yeah.
Like Less Than Jake is my favorite band, and I got to tour manage them this year, which is insane. Very daunting, but did a good job. Doing it again next year, so I'm good.
Hell yeah, there you go. That rocks. Tour manager and this is Spinal Tap is all I can hear now. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. That's me.
Uh, God, it's
But
been a
he's
while since I've seen
yeah.
that film.
It's been a while since I've seen that film actually.
uh,
Wait, did they not release a? Did they release a sequel, or were they? Are they in? Are they going to release a sequel?
not that
I
I
don't.
know. I mean, I feel like I heard something to that degree, but I don't think they probably haven't done. It's probably in development hell or some shit.
Hmm.
I don't know. To me, the closest equivalent to Spinal Tap these days is, I don't know if you've ever seen Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping.
Yes,
It's a fucking fantastic film.
that's a
I
good
love
movie.
I love Andy Samberg in that.
Have you? Did you ever see Walk the Line? Was it no? Walk
Walk
Hard.
Hard.
The Dewey Cox story.
Unfortunately, no. I only
Dude,
know
that
like bits and pieces of it.
I think you'd like it. Like that's a real underrated like
Oh
music
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for
you don't
sure.
think it's gonna be good, and it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, no. I definitely would like to check it out at some point. I like John C. Reilly, so let's see. Uh I guess like what are some of the easier parts of your job versus like the harder ones? Like what where do you have more fun? I guess.
I honestly like I do a bunch of stuff. I do like tour managing, I do driving, and I sometimes I'll sell merch as well.
Oh,
Actually, I kind of
nice.
like for somebody who I don't love interacting with people, but like merch is pretty fun. It's kind of fun having that vibe.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I'm I bet it's unique getting to, interact with so many fans and like
yeah, exactly. It's cool meeting a lot of people who are like super passionate about the thing that you are involved in,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and then having to argue with them when they want to try a shirt on after they've like
Oh gosh.
sweated for 2 hours or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, people can still be unreasonable, especially when they're when they're spending their money.
That's it. It's like, look, I'm really sorry. I want you to have a shirt that fits nice, but I also don't want this shirt going near your horrible sweaty body unless you give me £20. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, this is that in '92 at the Freddie concert in Wembley. Spinal Tap really had a technical issue. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Wait,
Uh,
Spinal Tap played that?
I
Was that like
guess they
Live
did.
Aid?
No, the Freddie Mercury AIDS benefit, I
Oh,
think.
the tribute or
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
oh right,
think
right, 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 right.
what was it? They did release an album around that time, didn't they? Like I think they had like a sequel album of sorts, but
I definitely owned a Spinal Tap album that I think was called Break Like the Wind.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think that was I could be wrong. That might have been like one of the recent ones. I don't know. I don't know the Spinal Tap lore as deep as much further than their original movie.
That's fair. I couldn't super get into the music as that was on the second album.
That said, I fucking love what was it? That other movie that Christopher Guest did, Best in Show. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they did a bunch, right? There was
Yeah,
Mighty Wing
yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, let's see. So, something I'm curious about. Do you have any plans to record like song covers or original music for your VTuber channel, for your persona at all?
That is something I've been meaning to do for the past like 3 years, and I just like haven't gotten around to doing it. I'm
Right.
like, the short answer is yes. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like actively like trying to focus on that next year. I want to like I honestly just haven't written a lot of music in general over the past
Mm.
couple of years, so I'm trying to really like write some music next year. And like I
Right.
think the problem that I have with the reason that I've never kind of done anything as punk rock is because anything that I kind of write, it's like, okay, well, this is an Eat Defeat song because I write like 5 songs in 3 years, and like, well, they have to be Eat Defeat songs. Um,
Yeah.
no, I think it's just like I think that the difficult thing for me is trying to kind of like give it a different vibe and have it
Right.
not just be the same exact kind of music. So just to your
Yeah.
point before about like J-pop songwriting and stuff, like most of my saved videos right now are like J-pop songwriting, like J-pop chord regressions, because I'm like, cool. I need to freshen up. I need to like look into some new chord progressions, some new like
Yeah.
stylistic stuff. So I would definitely like to incorporate that into like my music.
Mm. That is
Like,
a really good point about like not knowing how to really separate various vibes between it. Like I'm in two different bands. Like one is more like folky alternative and the other is like more grungy metally. So I have two different styles that I tend to gravitate towards for writing it, but I have no idea what the hell I would do, in terms of bringing a third to the table, as Resi. That's why I've basically stuck to covers for the past few years, only really doing like drum stuff or vocal stuff. I don't know.
yeah. I think the covers is something I should have done a long time ago and something I'm gonna try and figure out very quickly. Like
Mm.
I have a birthday coming up next month.
Oh
I
hell
want to do
yeah.
some fun stuff like to coincide with that.
Yeah.
It's more just like I have like a lack of confidence in my kind of recording production kind of vibes. So I think
Hmm.
it's just trying to figure out how to do that or to
Right.
just get who to speak to pay to help me with that.
Yeah. Do you have like a sort of workflow currently for songwriting or production or anything like that, or are you is it are you kind of amateur with that?
It's pretty chaotic as far as like do you mean like as in like a works like a digital
Like I don't
workstation
know,
or
how do you kind of get like inspired to like make an idea, or like how do you follow through on that? You know?
it's difficult. Like my so as far as songwriting, I usually start with like honestly like I feel like weirdly like drums do influence what I do quite a lot because I
Oh
write
yeah,
very
yeah.
I write kind of like within software. So I usually just like I'll just like flick through all the drum loops and just be like, okay, let's see if this inspires anything. And then I'm definitely like a music first, lyrics later kind of person.
Right.
So I usually it's usually just like, okay, this is a cool song and I've got some cool melodies. Now I have to write some lyrics.
Mhm.
Lyrics are like not an afterthought, but like I'm not like a I wouldn't like write a song before I've written the music. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I guess I'm kind of similar, I mean, I'm I wouldn't say that I'm the most skilled like music theory wise, so like coming up with chord progressions has never been my forte, but I have always been, more forward about I guess musical ideas than God, fucking lyrics are hard. Like getting to like sit down and write your true thoughts in a sort of rhyme scheme that's catchy enough. Well, I mean, I know there's some songs out there that, people forego rhyme schemes entirely, but I I am not good enough to pull that off yet.
Plus, the fun thing is they don't have to be your true thoughts. They can be anything you want.
Well, that's
You can
true, but
you can legally lie in song.
yeah, I don't know. I just I find it hard to write from a perspective that's not my own, Like, I find it. I guess it's because I don't really have much experience writing like poetry or whatever, but like I'm far more of somebody who who writes his thoughts at length than poetically.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Uh, um, let's see. Uh, do you have like the desire to get more into like learning production or anything like that?
I think like do I have the desire? Absolutely. Do I think I
Do you have
have the
the
follow
time?
through? Probably not.
Oh yeah. No,
I think that
I'm kind of the
the
same
like the
way.
I think the bare minimum I really should work on like in terms of like recording and like vocals specifically.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
that makes it a lot easier to do covers and stuff at least.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say like the thing that I'm the most solid on in terms of like recording things for myself is probably the vocals. I mean, I technically record MIDI drums too, like through my electronic kit, and that works well enough for me, but like I don't know, quantization is a bitch, and I'd like to think I have I have a better handle on like vocal filters and stuff now that I've repeated a few times, like my vocal cover sort of template.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Once you've kind of like done a good job of it once, and you kind of have a, like you say, like a workflow, I'm sure it
Hmm.
becomes like much easier to kind of get those done in a
Yeah,
timely and fashion that you're happy with. I think that's the
yeah,
hardest thing about writing is like
yeah.
being happy with what you're doing.
Hmm.
That, at least for me.
I've come
Yep.
to be satisfied with being content personally. Like how to say, like I I am losing my train of thought here.
Yeah, I think you have to accept at some point that y- I think the things you have to accept are like it's not going to be perfect. I think a hard thing to accept is like it's not necessarily going to be original or
Yeah,
groundbreaking,
yeah,
especially when you play in like a mid 2000s inspired pop punk band. It's like it's
yeah,
probably not going to be that original and inspiring,
yeah.
but
I
it's
mean
going to
that,
be fun.
but also, oh, I think I remember what I was gonna say. Also, like I'm not I don't claim to be like studio level professional like production quality or anything. I only really produce to a satisfactory degree where, I yep, that mix passes as a vocal cover.
Sure.
Because if I really agonized over like vocal perfection, over getting a perfect studio quality demo instead of like actually like just just giving my audience a treat, like I feel like that's needlessly limiting.
Yeah, I feel that.
You like your actual voice, not what you hear in your head. I have come to appreciate my actual voice. I mean, that's part and parcel of, having to edit it so much in in DaVinci Resolve, but like it's a lifelong process of sort of like coming to, I guess not feel weirded out by it, you know?
I feel that. I'm fine with my voice. I think it's just fine.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. I used to think I was a lot more nasally than, than I actually am. I don't know. I think that I've got a decent enough narration voice. I've got a decent enough I'm a decent enough conversationalist. Everything is fine on my end right now. Let me see now. Oh, so like, what inspired you, Brock, to become a VTuber? You've been creative for a very long time before the VTubering scene came along.
I think the VTuber jump specifically because like I've been streaming since I imagine a lot of people since 2020.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
a lot of free time. But I think like so I did like face cam streaming for the first like year or two.
Okay.
Um, but just like super got into VTubers like real hard like midway through 2020. I just
Nice.
like I was doing a lot of like fun and like creative things with kind of green screens and stuff when I was like flesh tubing as it were. But
Yeah.
I think just like having it just opens up so many avenues to be like weirdly creative. So like
Absolutely.
I started making a show basically where I interview musicians
Yeah, I
where
saw that.
it's kind of like just in the back of my actual van, but it's cool because I can just kind of like record them as it's happening and like record the audio, but then do like my point of view all in like post production with like
Hmm.
some like funny inserts and stuff.
Oh hell yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if you guys like what I'm doing here with like VTuber interviews and like talk streams and all that, definitely go check out what Brock's doing over on his channel. He's got like that interview series going, and it's really neat getting to see like well, doing what you're doing with interviewing IRL musicians. It's kind of a I don't know.
Well, I think that the difficult part about kind of getting it across is that people people don't know what a VTuber is.
Oh
People
yeah,
aren't super interested in what a VTuber is, so it's
yeah,
difficult to get people to like, no, this is fun. Please watch it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, I've definitely had that happen with my content before. I mean, God bless everybody who, discovered me through the Kiss content, because they saw a VTuber in Kiss, and it wasn't too much of a stretch to connect the two. But every other band that I've covered, it's kind of been a hard sell to the fan base to be like, hey, I'm this virtual catboy that's super passionate about music. Here's my opinion on stuff, right?
yeah, it's interesting because I've like people watch a bunch of video essays with like no face,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
just like, so it's like, do you think people should get used to like, I don't know, it's strange. It's a
I don't
strange
know.
like there was the weirdness when I first, because I just shifted my whole like, hey, I'm gonna stop streaming as me. This is
Yeah,
what I'm gonna be streaming as from now on. There was definitely a drop off. There was definitely some people who were like, I'm not interested.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's cool, but also I don't know. I just like I do this because it's fun, and
yeah,
that's all I really care about.
yeah, definitely. That's all that matters. I mean, like, I think that the longer that VTubing is around, not just as a community, but more specifically as a medium, I feel like people are gonna, drop their stigma the longer things go on for. There's gonna be more VTubers in mainstream positions, even if they're not necessarily called that. There's gonna be a lot more of comfortability of expressing yourself through an avatar and not just, as I legitimately feel like we're heading in that direction.
I mean, it's been cool this year with like the are you familiar with I Am Mouse?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like I think like this I Am Mouse has kind of like become a lot more visible because she's like broken records on Twitch and stuff.
Yeah,
So there's been a
yeah.
lot of like the bigger like IRL streamers who've been like, what the fuck is this? Who is this? Like what is happening? And I think
Yeah.
there's been a bit more like more people are understanding kind of the medium as it were,
hmm
which is
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Personally, The Elder is my favorite, so I appreciate your look into it. Well, I appreciate that, Glenn. Thank you for appreciating an anime catboy's opinion on Kiss. I really do appreciate everybody who's able to, look past that initial, huh? That VTuber's talking about this, to subscribe and all that.
It's always the fun conversation when I try and like I like have the conversation just like, hey, yeah, so I want to do this like interview show, and they're like, yeah, hell yeah, cool, of course, whatever. I'm just like, right, so you're not talking to me. You're talking to punk rock, and like this is punk rock. I'm just like, okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, the thing is, I have considered having like IRL guests on my own music talk stream too. I just feel like it would be such a hard sell.
I think like a lot of people just think it's kind of cool. Although I have
Yeah.
definitely had so are you a furry? It's like, well,
Oh my god,
no,
I get that
but I
comment
mean,
so fucking much.
it's like I mean, I guess technically,
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
mean,
fur. I feel like
I'm
being
furry
a
in the
furry is in
sense
your
that I
heart,
like
you
to.
know.
I am furry in the sense that I like to represent myself through an avatar beyond myself, but I don't like to fucking yiff if that's what you're implying. All right.
I don't know, man. Though yiffing seems pretty fun. Maybe I am a furry.
Oh my god. Let me see. So like, what do you hope to do as a sort of a musician within the VTuber community? Do you have any dream goals or collabs?
I don't know. It's a hard one because like it the hardest. Nothing's hard. It's fine.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
it's difficult like combining like being somebody who is like active in like a music scene, like a punk music scene, um, that like wants to kind of combine that with VTubing
Mm.
because VTuber fans don't really care about that, and like
Yeah.
punk fans don't care about VTubing. So it's I think that's another reason why I maybe haven't gone like hard on the covers and stuff because I think there's certain expectations as to like the kind of songs that you cover as a
Yeah.
VTuber. So I'm just like, cool. Even like I'm trying to think like as broad as possible, but even that is like I'll cover like an old Fallout Boy song, but it's like people don't really care about like VTuber fans want to hear like J-pop and like
Yeah.
I've covered like I don't know if do you know Bakumitai? It's from like the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yakuza game. Super
yeah.
fun. Like I covered that once and it's like I learned that. That's like pretty easy. It's a slow song. So it's
Right,
like pretty
yeah.
easy to like phonetically learn the Japanese. But like I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't have the it's not even the patience. It's just like I don't have the confidence to be like I'm gonna record a song in a different language and expect it to sound good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I think like my thing is just like I don't know. I just need to kind of go for it and start putting songs out.
yeah. No, definitely, for sure. Like, there's this one friend of mine who I've known quite a while. Her name is Noriboshi Ariel. I don't know if you're familiar with her at all, but she's like this indie VTuber that does her own sort of like idol-inspired, J-pop inspired music with a metal twist. Like, she's very much inspired by like symphonic metal, thrash metal, and all that, and incorporates it into her music. I love, the sorts of VTubers who are able to put more spin on, the traditional idol thing than just, J-pop or idol music, because that's all well and good. That's all respectful and stuff. But I think that, the broad spectrum of cultural expression is so much more than, what's currently possible in the VTubing medium.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the cool thing. That's what makes you stand out. It's kind of like doing something a little different.
Absolutely. And like I have a lot of respect for people who still want to do things the traditional way. Go through a variety streaming career, do karaoke's every now and then, and I definitely respect that. But I'm going my own way, and that way is hopefully a lot more musical.
For sure.
um. So then, oh yeah, did you have any like anybody that you wanted to collab with? Any dream collabs?
Uh I don't know. Like as far as with punk rock, I think like I as far as like the musically maybe not. I don't think I'm like at the level where I'm even thinking about that.
Right.
But like I'd love to get like some bigger bands and artists like involved with like the it's the series I do is called Torah Stories.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It-
yeah.
It's like short form video. It's basically about like bad tour stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like I would love to get like bigger artists kind of like involved in that. I think it would be pretty fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like the crazy thing is the dream bands that I would think of I have less than Jake's contact details. I have the phone numbers. I could hit them up, but I'm just like I don't. There's a weirdness between like my personal and like my professional stuff, which is like I need them to like take me seriously. So
Yeah,
maybe they
yeah.
don't need to know
Oh,
that I'm a guinea pig. Punk rock.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe someday I'll like actually ask less than Jake.
Hey, yeah, who knows? Let me.
Here we go again.
Oh,
Yes. No.
sorry, I'm accidentally played audio from your channel because I had it queued up to put in the chat for later. But let's see. Yeah. So, kind of keeping along with the VTuber talk, I guess, what are your favorite sorts of streams to do as a VTuber? I know you do a lot of karaoke, but
I honestly don't do a lot of karaoke anymore, which kind of sucks.
oh no,
I very infrequently. Well, it's been I definitely had done a lot more. It's been a little while. I do need to do some more because I do like singing. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's a music themed VTuber who is very heavily involved in music. I don't do a lot of music on my channel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I play a lot of games. Like I love gaming. Like I'm not somebody who um before 2020 had like absolutely zero interest in like multiplayer games, especially like
Oh,
online
yeah.
games. Hated any kind of online gaming, gave me anxiety. So
Hmm.
like the cool thing about being able to stream like even like single player games is like it's kind of like couch co-op vibes, right? Because it's like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
just I can just play this game that I'm enjoying and like people can like comment and like kind of like give me sass and backseat me, but like in a fun way. It's cool. I like playing games on stream because it's like
Yeah.
it's just cool. It's cool like playing and having people kind of involved with that.
It's definitely very cozy. I liked back when I was a variety streamer and had a chat to, sort of sit there with me. It was nice getting to interact with them. I mean, it's always nice having somebody to bounce off of while you're just putzing about in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just like
Uh
I think I'm actively trying again. I'm like I have a lot of like I'm just like yeah, new year, new me. I would
mhm.
love to do more kind of like long form, like literally like songwriting and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
just like hit live on Twitch and just like cool. You're just gonna sit with me for like 6 hours while I don't really talk to you very much, and I'm gonna like fart about in this workstation
Yeah, I mean,
with like
hey.
guitar loops and stuff.
Hey, a lot of VTubers do that, like I said, my friend Nordiboshi Ariel, she does that a lot. I think I was talking with somebody last week, Dokuru Scarmigi Leone, who does, not last week, but the week before, but like
Hmm.
Dokuro, he does a lot of that stuff too. I wish I had more courage to do that so openly, because, obviously I'm very amateurish. I do not feel comfortable at all trying to, create something from scratch. I think I tried that like once on stream, and it was just like it
Yeah,
was not a it was a non-starter of a stream.
I think that I definitely have that kind of anxiety, but it's more at this point just like if I don't do that, then I probably just won't
Oh well, that
write
yeah.
songs. I'm just like kind of need somebody to hold me accountable.
Hey, yeah. uh, the So for karaoke, I mean, I know you said you haven't done one in a while, but how do you prefer to do that? Do you like taking requests, or do you like constructing your own like set lists?
I love taking requests. Nobody ever gives me any.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But I'll usually like kind of what I'll usually do is like start with like before the stream I'll be like cool. I'll pick like 10 to 15 songs and then just like maybe I'll get like inspired. Usually like cuz I'm on, I'll be on like YouTube and just looking up karaoke videos. A
Yeah.
related video will come up and be like, "Oh shit. Like I fucking love Thanks for the Venom by My Chemical Romance. We got to sing that now."
Yeah, yeah, totally. I
So, yeah, it's a bit of both.
yeah, I've wanted for a while to do a karaoke stream. It's just YouTube and Twitch these days, I feel like they're not really a platform to do that sort of thing and preserve that for the viewers, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've done a karaoke stream since I started like primarily streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think Twitch.
I don't have an issue with like my channel being demonetized or anything like that. I don't make any money off my videos as is. That's all well and good. But I don't want to get struck, I don't want, the visibility for any streams to be limited. I don't want to deal with that headache,
Sure.
It's- YouTube copyright is such a fucking pain to deal with.
Yeah, it's kind of like I haven't delved too deeply into it, but is it like YouTube copyright seems harsher than Twitch copyright?
I mean, I don't know. Speaking as like somebody who uses a lot of like copyrighted music in his work, and
Oh,
I, granted, this is probably partly my fault because I don't bother to get any permission for any of it or pay for permissions or any of it. But it's instantly flagged essentially by AdSense bots. Is like I can't make any money off of that.
oh.
And I'm not sure exactly how Twitch works too, but I know that they also have to comply with the DMCA and all of that.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess with YouTube, I guess if the worst is that you just can't monetize it, that's okay.
I
But as
mean,
far as Twitch, I
but
think you
there's
just
also,
lose the
but I
channel.
mean, there's also like depends on like how strict people are who claim things. Like sometimes people will just straight up like try to remove it and give your channel a this fucking strike.
Right.
So it's tough, but I don't know. I like I love making stuff for the love of the game, so I just keep trucking.
Oh yeah.
So, kind of a final question to wrap things up here. I've been asking this recently because the world has been going through quite the tumultuous time in the last few months of this year. What sort of music do you like to turn to in times of stress? Do you have any particular like genres or artists that are like really cathartic to you?
Ooh, stress? It probably depends what kind of stress, but like I would say like as far as chill out, if I'm like trying to calm down, um I really I'm not like a huge fan of like a lot of like indie rock or whatever, but Plans by Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that's such a nice album.
Hmm.
Like that's
Interesting.
my like I'm driving at 3 a.m. and I'm just like enjoying the vibes, like
Hmm.
zone out, like real chill out album. Will calm me down. But on the other side, if you're like stressed out and you're driving and you need to like get some like frustration out, Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon
Oh
Force.
my fucking god.
Jeez, you're like 20 seconds in and your hands are like calloused from banging on the steering wheel.
My god, that song is is forever burned into my brain.
I don't that song doesn't make sense to me because it's like 8 minutes long and every single part of it is like hooky. It doesn't make sense. It's an astonishing achievement in songwriting.
Herman Lee is a goddamn wizard, man. I don't know how he does it.
I just like I look, I know you can make guitar, like you can make catchy sing-along guitar solos, but like there's like four in one song.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. I haven't listened to Dragon Force very much since those Guitar Hero and Rock Band days, but they're still, going strong and putting out albums, and God bless them. I don't know. I
I
personally, a
actually
lot of
got
that's.
the
Sorry, go
my
ahead.
funny my funny Dragon Force story is recently like earlier this year on the Less Than
Yeah.
Jake tour. I had to tell them to move their tour bus because we were playing the same venue as them and we were in the bigger venue.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
that's my funny Dragon Force story.
uh, well, in any event, I think that's just about all the questions that I had for you. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about tonight?
I got to talk about Scott Stapp's Marlins baseball song. And that's kind of all I really need to get off my chest.
Hey, there you go. Well, thank you very much for coming by, Brock. Where can people most commonly find you? I'm going to drop your YouTube in chat just because I know somebody was asking for it earlier.
Yeah, definitely YouTube. Like I stream on Twitch as well, but I multi-stream. YouTube is absolutely my priority. I make some kind of like edited content as well as do live streams on there.
Okay.
So, hell yeah, please check that out.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, if you like the sort of stuff I do, consider checking out his Tour Stories series. It definitely sounds like something that's right up you guys' alley. But yeah, oh my gosh. thank you guys so much for coming by. We had a lot of people coming by today, a lot of concurrent viewers, a lot of people chatting it up tonight, and I'm really happy. It's really nice getting to bounce off, with you guys, with my guests, with all these different musical opinions. I am very happy, but I'm also very hungry, so I'm going to go and make some dinner for myself. I'm going to go get some grub and maybe probably post something later about, I don't know, Patreon on my community tab just to remind you guys about it. But otherwise, hopefully I will see you guys next week. I've got somebody else lined up for then. And hopefully I'll have to get some more people lined up for the new year. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.